With me now is Adam Schwarz, a political commentator. Adam, thanks so much for taking the time. This, of course, was Liz Truss's big moment to convince that she was back in control. Did she manage it?
Well, I think certainly she performed better than some had expected after the very dire news conference they held just a few days ago. So I think expectations were particularly low. So I don't think it was disastrous, but I don't think it was a particularly great performance, really. However, I don't think it really changes the kind of fundamentals of the situation that she's in. You know, at the moment, she's a leader that really is without credibility, without authority, and without any kind of democratic legitimacy. And I think at the moment, you know, most governments midway through their terms are simply planning, you know, in terms of months or years. But actually, this is a government that's trying to cling on really on a day-to-day, moment-by-moment basis. So I think she's probably done enough in terms of trying to buy herself a little bit of time, hopefully, you know, in terms of trying to get to October the 31st for the fiscal statement. But certainly I don't think it really has changed the fundamental situation that she's facing, which is a very premature end to her premiership, only 43 days into taking the job.
There was another U-turn as well when it came to pensions, and she could have potentially undermined her Chancellor there, who of course she needs Jeremy Hunt's support and the support of her cabinet. So do you think that could be problematic for her?
I think from a sort of technical point of view, obviously, you know, one side or the other will come out as supreme. And obviously, you know, she is reliant upon the support of Jeremy Hunt in terms of trying to survive and maintain a cohesive cabinet. But I think really what the major significance of it is that it really shows that this is not a government that has sort of a very cohesive approach. And even though it's trying to sort of turn a new leaf in terms of trying to set a new policy trajectory, actually it's still having problems in trying to manage messages and also trying to manage just basic policy going forward. So I think, you know, it's possible that she was simply trying to assert authority following a few days where authority seemed to sap away from her towards her new Chancellor. But I think from a political perspective, it doesn't look very good. But also from a sort of economic and fiscal perspective, potentially this may be an issue going forward, having to raise pensions by 10% when already after the U-turns the government remains £38 billion you know, in sort of a shortfall. So I think certainly from a political perspective it's difficult, but also from an economic perspective and a fiscal perspective it looks very difficult for her as well.